Hello guys, welcome back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel, and we are back with more updates from the transfer market, and starting off with young talent Tyler Dibling. So played at Southampton this season, came on the scene for them, and he's been a big player for them this season despite Southampton's struggles, and obviously with him being one of the standout points this season for Southampton. He has interest from other Premier League clubs after he is only the age of 18 or 19, I think. But anyway, what can we say on Tyler Dibling and Southampton? So there are clubs interested from England. I think there's a few clubs that have been named which are a bit premature. For instance, Man City, from what I know, aren't really looking at Tyler Dibling at the moment. And it's the same for Liverpool. But Tottenham, etc., some German clubs are looking at Tyler Dibling. And what can we say on Tyler Dibling this summer? So for this summer, I think it's very tough to bring him away from Southampton, even if Southampton get relegated. But one thing I will say is Southampton will have a price, but 100 million, a report that came out earlier today, 100 million, no. He will not be that price tag. It'll be less than that. You're probably looking at maybe 50, 40 million. I think it would be half of that. So clubs are monitoring Tyler Dibling. He's impressed this season at Southampton, but no 100 million deal will happen, but it will be very hard to bring him away from Southampton this summer. So Feyenoord left winger Igor Paixão, I don't know if I've said that correctly, but Brazilian left winger, very talented at Feyenoord, been brilliant this season, and really his breakout season in the Eredivisie. And many clubs have posted on X a few weeks ago that clubs are monitoring the situation of the player because he's a very quick player, what you'd want in a winger for many clubs. And one club who we now can mention is that Atalanta have made contact with Igor Paixão. So Paixão, obviously, for him to leave this summer, Feyenoord are looking at 30 million euros or above that. So a very feasible fee, for my opinion, for the quality you're getting. And he's had a brilliant season. And Atalanta, obviously, in the summer, Ademola Lookman is expected to leave. So this is why they've made contact for Paixão, because they're looking for a replacement for Lookman. And Lookman, as we've said, Premier League, the most likely destination at the moment. But Paixão as well, from what I know, there are not just Atalanta, but many clubs over Europe. So Atalanta will have a list of many options to replace Ademola Lookman, but they have made contact with Paixão. But no doubt we'll get more names in the next weeks of who Atalanta are looking at for the summer transfer window. Full-back then, very versatile player, Andrea Cambiaso, Juventus player, very versatile, and that is why he's having links with many clubs for that versatility. But we know he is mostly on that left-back, left-wing-back role. And for Juventus, we've spoke about it many times, they have no Champions League football, means that Juventus will have to make big sales in the summer, which is why it's crucial. And a player who Manchester City wanted to sign in January was Cambiaso, and the deal was moving along for Cambiaso, but in the end it was on Manchester City's side where they opted out of a deal because of the money they spent before on Victor Reis, Omar Marmoush, etc. in the January transfer window. But Manchester City are expected to be active again. And one thing I can say is Andrea Cambiaso is still a player of interest to them. And I've got to say, I think Manchester City will move for Cambiaso again because they were in negotiations. He wanted the player, but for financial side of spending the money in January, they already did. They they opted out, as I've just said. So I think Manchester City will return. There's also other players who, other teams, in Europe who are also looking at, I've been told, but at the moment I don't have any names other than Manchester City. So crucial this season for Juventus to get Champions League football. And in January, Juventus wanted 60 to 70 million euros for Cambiaso, and this isn't expected to change in the summer. But one key thing on Cambiaso we can say is, despite Juve, even if they do get Champions League football and don't really have to make big sales, Cambiaso is still a candidate to leave the club, because obviously the new manager coming in might see Cambiaso as a key player, but Cambiaso is open to an exit in January to Manchester City, because Manchester City were confident of agreeing on the personal side of a deal. So let's wait and see. Kenan Yildiz is also another candidate to leave as a big sale if Juventus don't get Champions League football. But a very big team in the summer transfer window, I think, will be Juventus. So Sandro Tonali, and what is going on with him then? Because I see him constantly get linked with other clubs, especially in Italy, saying that he's homesick and this type of thing. So we know he signed from AC Milan, where he didn't really want to leave Milan, but Milan had to sell him due to the financial situation they were in. And Sandro Tonali has just won the Carabao Cup. He's settled in, I'd say, now after that ban at Newcastle fully, and he is loved by the fans. And one thing we can say on Tonali is, as his agent came out a few months ago stating that Tonali's happy at Newcastle and isn't considering a move back to Italy, because from Italy, one thing we can say is many clubs would love to have him, including Juventus, who have concrete interest in Tonali, and is an option they would move for if he becomes available, because they absolutely love Sandro Tonali. Juventus do, but AC Milan as well could also return. So let's wait and see what happens on that, because Newcastle, as I've said many times, don't want their key players to leave this summer. Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali. And what we can say is that Isak offers are expected. Interest in Tonali is there. Guimaraes probably likelier to stay. But Newcastle are aware of this, so it all depends on Newcastle's situation of how they are, but also if Sandro Tonali makes an exit clear, because there has been many reports, and I do get the feeling that Tonali would like a return to Italy one day. But who knows if that is this summer. But so far, no movements. Tonali's happy at Newcastle. There's concrete interest from Juventus, and AC Milan would love to have Tonali back. But once again, also the financial side of a deal, because I think you're looking at an expensive, for these Italian clubs who need to be careful financially. I think you're looking at quite an expensive deal for Sandro Tonali. So let's wait and see what happens. But Juventus, big summer for them, outgoings and also incomings. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.